Tuesday, everyone. I hope that you had a lovely weekend. And I didn't go live last week. I didn't go live yesterday because I was really tired. Have you ever had like a weekend where you really don't do a whole lot, but it still wears you out? So this past weekend, Saturday, I spent probably I think it was like 5 or 6 hours in bed just with my boyfriend, Donnie, my sweetie. We were just like snuggling and talking and loving on each other. And we spent like 5 or 6 hours in bed, which on Saturday is not what normally happens. Like normally he'll get up, we both get up, we read the Bible, we do our stuff, and then he'll go to the gym for like hours. And I'll get my workout in and I'll clean the house and do all kinds of stuff. So like we got like not that much done on Saturday, and then we just went and had dinner with friends. And then it was just like and then Sunday we went to church, and then we came back. We did a lot of like snuggly, lovey things, and he gave me a massage and stuff. And then, so whatever reason, like yesterday, I was really tired. Like, you think that like all the relaxation that I had this past weekend, that I would have been like raring to go yesterday, but I was like so tired. I was like, I just wasn't able to go live for y'all. So I apologize for that. But I wanted to go live today and talking about getting clear on what it is that you want. And what to do when you think you know what you want and you've been working towards it, but things are not happening. Either they're not happening at all for you, or they're not happening the way how quickly you think they should be happening, right? So we've all had these periods in our lives where, we think, hey, John, thank you. You think you're clear on what it is that you want. You're like, yeah, I'm doing my manifesting, I'm journaling, I'm doing, all the steps that you were taught or you read about or whatever. And just things are not happening in your life or your business or whatever it is that you're focused on manifesting. Like they're either just not happening at all, or they're just like not happening. Like it's like, why is this taking so long? Or why is stuff like just not happening for me, right? And you're just like, I don't know what it is. So usually this kind of happens, this type of thing happens like not at the beginning of the manifestation process, because obviously like 2 seconds after you decided what you wanted and you started journaling and doing gratitude or whatever things that you do for your manifestation practice, like obviously you're not expecting it to happen like that quickly, like instantly, although that would be nice. Like I dream a genie, right? So it usually happens like partway through the process. Like you've been doing the things, you've been feeling like, yeah, you're all in, like things are, that things are just like, they should be, things should be going good. You've been in good spirits, like whatever, but you're just like, things just aren't happening like at all. Or it gets really close to things happening and you're like, yeah, here it is, right? It's coming. And then like, poof, like nothing. And you're like, what is happening here, right? Like, what is it, right? And so there's a few things that it can be, and there's like definitely something that you need to do to snap yourself out of it. And that's what I wanted to talk about in this video today. So part of it is getting clear on what it is you really want. So you might think, well, of course, Lorna, I was already clear, right? Like I was clear, I set my thing, I've been journaling, I've been doing my gratitude. Of course I was clear. But were you actually clear? And was it what you wanted, that you decided that you wanted to manifest? Was it really in alignment with the other things that you want to create in your life, right? Like, let's say, for instance, you wanted to manifest a partner, right? And then you're like thinking about the qualities you want this person to have, and you're like, I think this guy's the one. Maybe you see somebody on a dating site or whatever, and you're like, yeah, this is it. This is the person, right? And then like you're gonna go on a date with them, and you're like really excited, and then they cancel, and like things like fall apart, and then like that person ghosts you, and then there's like nobody on the dating site or whatever it is that you're interested in, and you're like, what happened, right? Like, what happened here? I thought we were like well on the way, and then like everything collapsed, right? This is a good opportunity to stop and kind of like assess and get clear on what it is that you really, really, really want. Because what could have happened is you kind of sold your actual dream down the river because something looked like it was good enough and fulfilled enough of those things, and then you kind of like in your mind like massaged, you know, what was about to happen or what you thought was about to happen, and said like you kind of like dismissed the red flags where it didn't actually like meet what you thought it would meet, and you were just like saying, yeah, this is going to be it, it's going to be perfect, and you get all excited about it, whatever, and it falls apart. That's when God's trying to tell you that that person or that job or that situation or whatever it is that, you know, was not the right thing, and you have gotten, you know, kind of off track on your values, right? You were about to sell your dream down the river for something that was like, okay, right? It's kind of like if your dream is to go to the Mediterranean and be in this beautiful, amazing place on the Mediterranean, and you're picturing the beach and all the beautiful things that you're going to do in the Mediterranean, and then someone, and I'm going to apologize to my Galveston folks in advance, and then someone offers you an all-expense paid trip to Galveston, and you're like, oh my God, yes, this must be it. It's beach. Yeah, there's sand, there's water, and you try and convince yourself that like Galveston is the Mediterranean, and that's like actually what was going to fulfill your dream, and that's good enough, and yeah, that's what God wants for you. Like, and then like it's not, right? Like Galveston is not the Mediterranean, and I love my folks who live in Galveston. I have some amazing people that I worked with in Galveston. My boyfriend's actually got a Corvette on order, and we're going to pick it up in Galveston, but Galveston's not the Mediterranean. So if you have been on thinking that you were on track, and then things you start to get excited about something, and then it fell apart, that is just a sign that wasn't it, okay? It was not it. That was Galveston and not the Mediterranean. And so instead of getting discouraged and saying, I give up, so like on the partner, I give up on ever finding a partner, I give it up on ever finding a job, I give up on ever having a profitable business, like whatever it is, that if that was the thing you're trying to manifest, instead of giving up, which is what you're really going to want to do at this point, Derek, right? You're really going to want to give up and say, this is just a sign that it's not meant to be. You are going to want to give up right now. You are going to want to give up. Wrong. It is not the time to give up. It is actually the time to double down and get super duper clear on what it is you want and really dive into this thing, you know, my trip to Galveston and dive in and see that it was Galveston and it wasn't the Mediterranean, and you were selling yourself short. Or relationship-wise, yeah, the guy was not all that, and you were selling yourself short and letting your brain like paint the red flags white. And then you get your journal out and you get clear, and you write in more clear language what it is you want, like even more detailed, right? So if like in Galveston, you want white sand beaches and clear blue water, right? Galveston has kind of brown, murky water, and the beaches are not white sand. It's kind of a brown sand. It's not horrible, but it's not the Mediterranean. It's not white powder sand. So you get clear on that. In the case of a relationship, right? Let's say you were telling yourself that this guy who had, 6 children by 6 different baby mamas was like reformed, and he was actually going to be like the right guy for you and super dedicated. Like, you were lying to yourself, because if he's already got 6 different baby mamas, you're just going to be number 7. Like, you were not going to be his one and only. So despite how cute he was, how pretty his eyes were, anything else, it's not the right guy, right? So double down. My guy is committed. He's loyal. He doesn't have 6 different baby mamas, right? Like, he still has pretty eyes. but he doesn't have 6 baby mamas, right? He's got no baby mamas, right? Like whatever, right? Like get back and get clear on the qualities that are important to you and realize where you were trying to settle and kind of paint red flags white and settle for Galveston instead of the Mediterranean, or the guy with 6 baby mamas instead of the guy who's loyal. Realize where you're trying to do that and get clear on it. And this is when I have some worksheets that I do with my clients when it gets to this. Team No Kids, good to know, Derek. And he has really pretty eyes too, ladies. So if you're looking for a guy who's got pretty eyes and doesn't have 6 baby mamas, you need to hit up Derek, because he does. That boy's got some pretty eyes. Very pretty. So I have some worksheets that I do with my clients, and I also do this for myself, right? Because even though I'm a coach and I've spent years and many dollars and many years and tens of thousands of dollars working on myself, it still happens to me, right? Like I still get to play sometimes where I catch myself trying to paint red flags white, and thanks. He's blushing over there. I know if we could see it, if we could pull him on camera here, he'd be blushing, I bet. But yeah, so it's just a great time to look at worksheets. Like I was doing this the other day over the weekend. I created something. It was about a year and a half ago, actually. I got as I started to manifest something, I'd had this kind of this long question sheet where I had gotten clear on what it was that I wanted to create. And so what I did was I found that thing on my computer, yay, Dropbox, right? So I found it in my Dropbox and I pulled it back out and I read through each question and answer again. And I read where I wasn't clear, things that hadn't quite manifested yet in my life that I wanted, I wasn't entirely clear on them at the time that I wrote that a year and a half ago or whatever it was. And so and my language was language that wasn't decided, right? So let's say the question asked, how many clients do you want to work with? Or what does your whatever look like? And you're like, oh, I'd like to work with, I'm just going to use clients, right? Let's just say, for instance, I had a thing that says, and this isn't the actual question, but I'm just trying to give an example. How many clients do you want to work with? And I had said, oh, I want to work with a full number of clients that allows me to work X number of hours a day and still have time for whatever, right? Well, that wasn't really clear on how many clients, right? That was just yeah, I kind of want my day to look like this. I didn't say, hey, I want to work with 4 clients per day or 5 clients per day, and I want to have 3 in the morning and take a nap and 2 in the afternoon. That is clear. I kind of want to work with enough where I can still, XYZ is not clear, right? Also, what do you want your day to look like? Oh, I kind of want to get in the office, not too early, not too late. No, do you want to be in the office at 9 a.m. or do you want to be in the office at 11 a.m.? What time do you want to be? What time do you want to eat lunch? Super get clear on all this stuff. Because our subconscious mind, oops, I just dropped my pen. Our subconscious mind and God and law of attraction, all the natural laws and stuff that all work together to create our life wants you to be specific. And when you're not specific, when you say, well, I kind of want to have enough clients where, I have time to think in between and I feel good about whatever and blah, blah, blah. But you don't state how many and how many per day and how many in the morning, how many at night. If you're not that clear on it, what's going to happen is when your subconscious, it's just going to run on default programming. So it's well, she doesn't want to be too busy. Or guys, she doesn't really want a guy that's got too many kids, but it's okay if he has kids, but because I'm open to that. If you're not clear on that, your subconscious is just going to bring you whatever. They're going to serve up the guy with 6 baby mamas and 6 kids. Or in a client situation, what's kind of enough clients that you can still do this or that or not do this or that. It might serve you no clients or 2 clients when you really want to work with, say, 10 clients a week, right? Or 20 clients a week. You're kind of wishy-washy. You might just get 1 client here or there because your subconscious mind doesn't know what you want. So it's just Okay, well, we don't want to give her too much, so we'll just give her like one client every 6 months or something like that, right? So it's so important that if you are, just like not manifesting what you want, things are not happening for you as fast, or you're having things show up and then they fall apart, or they show up and you find out the guy's got 6 baby mamas or 10 baby mamas or whatever, like you need to look at how clear you were. Because I promise you, you'll think I was clear. I was really clear. I know I was clear. I know it. And then when you open your little journal, or you go back to your sheet on your computer and you look at the questions and you look at your answers, you'll be like, oh, I guess I was a little wishy-washy there, wasn't I? Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. So if you are getting wishy-washy manifestation and wishy-washy things showing up in your life, you're getting not what you want, things that are like, what? Well, you said it was okay if you had kids. You didn't really mind. Okay, well, then you got Mr. 6 baby mamas and 6 babies from 6 different baby mamas. You didn't say, I want a guy with no kids or no more than 1 child or whatever, right? Like, get clear. Your subconscious, God, law of attraction, whatever you want to call the external forces that are shaped by your thoughts and what you focus on, cannot bring you what you want if you are not clear, right? Imagine if you went to a restaurant and you look at the menu and you're like, let's see, kind of want steak, but chicken's good too. Ooh, I like fish. Yeah, shrimp's good. Oh, but I like vegetarian food too. And then you just tell the waiter or waitress, just bring me what's good, right? Just bring me what's good. Put your menu down. They take it away. 15, 20 minutes later, they come back with what? You have no idea what they're going to come back with. You told them what's good. What if what they think is what's good is what you think is disgusting? What if they think what's good is like a flour tortilla with jalapenos and cream cheese and bacon and like pineapples and mushrooms and like whipped cream or something, something totally random and gross, right? What if that's what they think is good and that's what you get and you're like, that's not what I wanted? Well, you didn't freaking tell them what you wanted. You told them bring me something good, and good is very subjective. And so if you're not clear on what you want to manifest, you're going to end up with something random that is not going to be what you wanted. So if you're not manifesting what it is that you want, it's not showing up, period. It's not showing up at all. Or you're getting crazy, not what you want to show up. Get clear. Ask yourself the questions and then get painfully clear. My only caveat on getting clear is get clear on what it is you want and how you want to feel when you have it. Do not, I repeat, do not narrow it down to a specific person, like in the case of relationship. It must be a guy named John Smith, the guy who lives 5 doors down from me. It has to be him. No, you can't do that. Or job-wise, it has to be a job at, I'm going to say Lowe's, just because I work in Mooresville, North Carolina, and they're headquartered here. And it has to be the CEO job at Lowe's Corporation. And, whatever, right? Like, you can't be that specific. If you're like, I want to be the CEO of a large corporation that has over 10,000 people and is headquartered in a major city or near a major city, that you can do. But it can't be, it has to be Lowe's Corporation, or it has to be John Smith, my neighbor from 5 doors down, because it don't work that way, right? It does not work that way, right, Derek? You're not going to be fulfilled. You cannot be, you get specific about what, not who, right? Not, it has to be this person, it has to be this job at this company, because you can't make other people like do what you want, right? But if you put it out there that you want to manifest a job as a CEO working for a company that's got over 10,000 people and global operations, God, the universe, law of attraction can bring you that. You want a person, You want a mate who is over 5 foot, over 6'2" or 6 foot or whatever. If it's a guy or girl, over a person, she's under 5'9" and she has a sweet voice and she loves to cook and she, has one child or no children or loves dogs or whatever it is. Like you can be specific about the qualities, but not who the person has to be, because you cannot fight. We all have the power of choice. And so if you specify down to it has to be this particular person or this particular job at this particular company, it's not going to work because of free will. So get very, 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 very clear down to the fact of not the specific person, the specific company, the specific whatever. That's what you need to do if you are not successful at manifesting what it is that you want right now. And I promise you get that clarity, you get that broken down, you look at where it really does help you to go back and look at what you wrote down or what you typed out or whatever as what you wanted prior, because in your mind you were clear. And once you see that you weren't, you are much able to rewrite that, to revise, to fix it. You can see exactly where you were missing it, and boom, let things start coming together. Yeah. So that's what I have for you this lovely Tuesday, Groundhog Day 2/2/21. I look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow, and we'll see what cool stuff God has for me to share then. Lots of love to you. Mwah. Have a great one.